What's up, guys? Mad Rambles, episode 43. As always, I'll go over my keys to improve on. It's coming up with an idea, enthusiasm, video professionalism, going into detail when talking about topics, a video plan, being more seated and less off-putting about my movements, adding a title, posting immediately after doing rather than waiting, just trying to show more urgency, and looking into the camera when talking, not fucking out ear for some reason, and trying to rewatch my videos. Now, this one's a fucking hard one because watching your stuff is just cringy as fuck, but it's the best way to improve, level up, and get better and better, which is always what we're here for. So, today's episode is episode 43, and the title of today's episode is What Makes a High Value Man. I always find this interesting, this sort of topic about high value man, high value woman, and I might talk on high value woman in the future. But today we're just more focusing on high value man. And as always, this shit's my opinion. Like, if you don't agree, that's fucking amazing, bro. If you agree, great. But if you don't, it doesn't really matter. So, within that, what we're going to talk about is my opinion, what to do, what not to do, and why people aspire to be a high value man. So, what is my opinion of a high value man? I feel there's a lot of misguidance in today's society, and I am only 23, so when I say misguidance, it's I'm using my limited knowledge of only being 23 to understand and make a judgment on what I feel is high value, and this may not be the same as it is when I'm 50, but for now, I can only speak for now. I feel there is a lot of misguidance. You hear people talk about cars, fucking Gucci chains on, rings, looking sick, nice haircut, always trimmed up, getting loads of birds, talking to girls every single day, got the club, booth, cigar, Andrew Tate style, with your fucking 20 women around you. Personally, I don't think any of that makes you high value. Not a single thing. I think in some of those things that I mentioned detract value, especially the women. Why are you spending loads of time around 50 different women, flirting with 50 different women, fucking 50 different women? What's the point? If you can do that, then why are you doing it? For instance, dude, if you're only doing that, it's almost to prove to someone else you can do it. And why is that the only reason? If that's the reason, then you don't have the respect in yourself and the confidence in yourself. And I think that's what makes a high value man. And therefore, I don't think you're high value. You hear Fresh and Fit and all these podcasts talk about these birds and women. I'm not saying I disagree with them. Just as always, you see people and you agree with some points, you disagree with others, and that's fucking life. But I feel when you get people chasing tail and trying to fuck girls left, right, and centre, you're wasting your time, man. Are you fucking 12? Bro, everyone knows, right? It's common fucking knowledge. You hear even people like Andrew Tate, Alex Hormozy, and Jordan Peterson, intellectual people, and they all, promote the idea of saying that if you're with one woman, it's so much better. Having that one woman, that one love is so much better. So the goal is to find that one woman. It isn't to find fucking millions of women. Because you only have X amount of energy. Energy, I believe, is finite. And also your time is definitely finite. So if you have 10 women, your time is just spread across the fucking ton. So the amount of quality time you get per woman and the amount of quality relationship you build as such, is going to be so much less than if you're just with that one woman. Who can then propel you and then be like a spiritual, loving part of your life that brings a lot of happiness versus having 10 women that are just a fucking headache just because you like variety a bit. But not just that, man. You got to satisfy 10 women, mate. You know, if you're having sex with every fucking day with each of them, mate, that's a long fucking time. What else you doing? Even 5 women, even 3, yeah? Whereas you can have sex twice with one woman and it'd be so much better. Because you're so much more emotionally invested in that one woman. Therefore, you get so much more out of it. It's like, say you're one guy, right? Building a house. You know, it's fucking wet, man. The rain's coming. Because that's what life is. Always rain coming. It's always shit times coming. So you want to shelter yourself a little bit. You want a bit of spiritual protection. You won't just sit there and go, you know what? I have this finite amount of resources. I'm gonna build 10 houses. You know, 10 months later, you've finally got 10 houses. You can only live in one of them. You can only live in one per time. You don't live in 2 houses at the same time. You know, versus the guy that says, you know what, I'm going to build one house. 1 month later, he's dry. And for the next 9 months, he's leveled up compared to the other people who chase 9 more girls. So I think your ability to recognize that is important, and that's one of the parts that make a high value man. Another part for me is realizing why you do things, why you know, understanding why society pushes you towards different things. For instance, are you just making money to buy cars? Do you actually like cars, or do you just like how people think about you when you like the cars? Then if you like about how people perceive you, you're probably not that confident in yourself, mate. Like, why do you need that validation? I don't give a fuck. Alright, it doesn't mean anything to me. Some random kid, you know. And a lot of people hate that. They hate that idea. But for me, high value is understanding your purpose, understanding what's true to you, why you actually do things, and pursuing that. If you like cars, fucking great, mate. Buy a million of them. But just understand, does it actually bring you genuine happiness, or are you doing it for external gratification? You know, are you doing it purely because some geezer on the internet who you quite like also does it the same? You know, so I think what you need to do is you need to understand your emotions, understand why you feel certain things, why you then want certain things as a result. Pursue the things that are true to you and not true to society and everyone else. Obviously, be good, helpful, and a positive person in society, but don't just do things because society tells you. And when I say this, I mean more purchasing stuff. You know, you need to follow your truth. And I've talked about this at length before. So what not to do? Don't sit there and just mindlessly follow to what other people say. And I think ultimately being a high value man is controlling your emotions. Not just because of the reason I've meant, but also for like women. And I talked about this earlier, but like, you know, understand that, yeah, fucking 20 women would be fucking sweet, yeah? You get that instant gratification. Think about girls you can get after it's done. Like, it's still fucking sex, mate. And you've just not, and the only thing you haven't got is a strong relationship with one of them. And ultimately, that is what will build you success. So that is a true treasure, that is a true value, and recognizing that is another part of being a high value man, in my opinion. It's you need, and then you need to have certain values. You need to stick to those values, tell the truth, work hard, be respectful, be kind to people, help people less than you, more importantly, and stay true to your desires and purpose. You need to have a purpose. I think if you don't have a purpose that is genuine, then you're not a high value man. I think it is more emotional, spiritual, and mental high value rather than physical. I think everything that is physical doesn't really mean much. You know, and that's why I say fucking loads of women is more physical than it is mental. You know, you're not doing it for a mental reason. You're doing it just because you like to fuck. You like to be promiscuous. Rather than the mental and the spiritual gain you gain from just being with one woman. And people aspire to be a high value man because of how they'll be perceived in society. But again, I think this is wrong. I think it's great, and you should always. I think it's great to have people look up to you, and it is always an aspiration. You know, it makes you feel good. But ultimately, it shouldn't be the reason why you do stuff. I think it needs to be inherently positive and within yourself. You know, like if you have two roads to go down, one road you'll have loads of positive outlook from loads of people. People love you. All right. Versus doing what you know is true to yourself. I think the harder thing, and as always, the harder thing is the more valuable thing. And that is being true to yourself and going the path that you want, maybe alone. That is a warrior. That's a fucking high value man. Anyway, almost 11 minutes flat. I've been Keelan. Peace.